So we all had to get together and work together so that Caltrans could meet their vision, and their vision being a holistic view of project delivery and enterprise asset management across a life cycle so that they could be much more efficient with the assets that were being designed, the assets that were being constructed, and then those assets that needed to be managed long term. And so together, we have put together a team, a dream team that has worked in collaboration across data, across platforms, across stakeholders to get us to where we are today. So go to the next slide. Okay, so what you see on the right-hand side that looks a little bit like spaghetti is Caltrans, a handful of systems of records of data and information that Caltrans has. And it sits with many of the partners that Mark had mentioned in his path to success. It also points out that there's a handful of various field data collectors and sensors along the way that are across the state of California with thousands of assets that need to be tracked and data that is coming in that needs to be managed across their systems. And so when we looked at this spaghetti, Aaron and Mark said, we don't want to just digitize this. We want to be able to come in and innovate and reinvent the workflows between all of these point solutions and companies that we've invested in over the last decade or so. We want to be able to streamline this process, and we want to be able to add to this process in an evolution as we go forward. Back to what Rob was mentioning around being able to physically show the state of California, but digitally across the state. And that is really the vision that these two individuals have been driving forward for us. And it's Trimble's culture to get in there and to solve problems. That's what we do. And so when Mark came and said, you have to work with others, and we need you to open up your applications and the data that you're sharing, and we need you to share with others, that's what we did. And we're also driving those open standards as an organization because we want to lead. And we want to do that as well. And so it's really been a fun journey for all of us. And I certainly cannot take credit. I have an amazing team that works with us and works with Caltrans. We also want to do a shout out to many of our partners. So CSDS and Cancel, Granite Construction, and SciTech West. There is a partnership, a network that Trimble has that really supports the folks that you see up here today. We don't do it without having our partners engaged and kind of helping us along the way. So one thing that Mark had said to me a while back, he said, I want to be able to double click on a chunk of pavement and I want to see the asset ID. And for myself and others that are on my team, we all were like, brilliant, we get it. An asset ID is actually the glue that you tie in for that entire life cycle of that asset, from when you're designing the bridge to when you are constructing the bridge to operating and maintaining that bridge for its entire life cycle. And so an asset ID for us, we said, brilliant, how do we work with you? And how do we make this happen? And this is what comms is really about, is sharing of this information and freeing a lot of this data along the way, which makes it so exciting for us. So a couple other things. So what have we learned so far? I think we've learned that platforms allow us a lot more flexibility and a lot more access to data and metadata of thousands of assets that are out there. I think we've also learned that platforms actually enable more effective workflows across various point solutions and what you see in the spaghetti code that's here as well. So we're just at the beginning of this journey with you in regards to where we're going for platforms and construction cloud and the like that we've talked about earlier today. And so we're pretty jazzed about this. And the last point I'll make is that the comms platform, the model that you all have put forward, really allows for future capabilities and flexibility around predictive analytics, which you really want to do, artificial intelligence, machine learning. So moving to this type of environment and shared information and the power of the data that you'll have across this entire asset lifecycle really is cool. And it's going to allow us to be a partner with you as you go on this journey to really see what the possible is. And a lot is possible because of the two of you.